Hello, students. I hope you all are well and staying at home. What do you remember of your grandfather or grandmother? Can you ever imagine that they too were young once upon a time? What do you think they looked like? Today, in this video, I will tell you the summary of the portrait of a lady. Firstly, I will tell you about its author. The Portrait of a Lady was written by Khushwant Singh. Khushwant Singh was an Indian novelist, lawyer, journalist, and politician. As a writer, he was best known for his humor, sarcasm, and by abiding love for the poetry. In the story, The Portrait of a Lady, the author draws a pen portrait of his grandmother. Khushwant Singh's name is bound to go down in Indian history as one of the finest historians and novelists. He served as the editor of several literary and news magazines. Now move to the summary of the lesson The Portrait of the Lady. Appearance of the grandmother. The author recalls his grandmother as a very old lady with a wrinkled face. She appeared so old that it was hard for him to believe that she had once been young and pretty. She was a short, fat, and little stooped in appearance. The author remembers her moving about the house in spotless white, counting the beads of rosary, while her lips moved constantly in silent prayers. She was not pretty in the traditional sense, yet her serenity made her beautiful. Initial years of togetherness, life in the village. In the initial years of his life, the author lived with his grandmother in the village, sharing a good friendship. His grandmother used to wake him up in the morning and get him ready for the school. She would hand over to him the things he required in the school. After having thick stale chapatis with butter and sugar for breakfast, they used to leave for school. The author's grandmother always accompanied him to school as it was attached to the temple. It was her habit to carry stale chapatis for village dogs, which they used to feed while returning from the school. The grandmother used to sit inside the temple reading holy books while the narrator learnt alphabets and prayers in the school. Turning point of their friendship, life in the city. The turning point of their friendship, that is, the grandmother and the author, came when they moved to the city to stay with the author's parents. Though they shared the same room, his grandmother no longer accompanied him to the school since the author started going in a bus. As years rolled by, they saw less of each other. Meanwhile, as there were no dogs in the streets, she took to feeding the sparrows. Unlike the village school, the author was not taught about God and the scriptures, which troubled his grandmother. She did not believe in what was being taught at his school and was unhappy as she could not help him with his lessons. Moreover, she was disturbed at the idea of music lessons being given at school as she considered music to be unsuitable for gentlefolk. The grandmother combats her loneliness by feeding the sparrows. When the author started going to the university, he was given a room of his own. It resulted in the further gap between them. She accepted her loneliness and rarely spoke to anyone. All day long she sat spinning the wheel and reciting her prayers. She relaxed for a short time only in the afternoon to feed the sparrows who came in large numbers. The bond and level of comfort they shared with her is evident in the fact that they perched even on her legs and head. She used to be at her happiest self while feeding the sparrows. Author leaves for higher studies. The author leaves to go abroad for higher studies. He was sure that his grandmother would be upset at his departure. On the contrary, she came to the railway station to see him off but did not show any emotion. She was absorbed in her prayers, telling the beads of her rosary. She silently blessed the author's forehead, which the author considered to be the last sign of physical contact. Author's homecoming. On his return after 5 years, the author did not find any change in his grandmother. She was as prayers, even that day, the happiest moment. For the first time ever, she did not pray. She collected several ladies of the neighborhood and sang songs related to the homecoming of the warriors. Grandmother's death. Though diagnosed with a mild fever by the doctor, grandmother knew that her end was near. She decided to spend the last few hours of her life reciting prayers. Soon her lips stopped moving and she died, a silent tribute by the sparrows. The family went to make arrangements for the grandmother's funeral. As they came with a stretcher, they stopped midway to find thousands of sparrows scattered around her dead body. The sparrows mourned the death of her grandmother in utter silence. They ignored the breadcrumbs thrown at them by the author's mother and flew away silently after the body was carried away for cremation. The breadcrumbs were swept away by the sweeper next morning. Thank you and have a nice day.